Hello and welcome guys. So let's continue the texturing. In this video, we will be placing all the text, all the symbols and everything. So yeah, let's start. First, what we need to do is obviously we need to import all those textures into Substance Painter. So just go into your course files and in the textures folder, let's select them all till here. I will just drag and drop them onto the shelf like this. And this way we can import it easily. You will see this dialog box pop up. So what you need to do is you need to make sure that you select it and only import it as an alpha and not as a texture, because basically all these images are textures. Sorry, all these images are alphas. These are like black and white images. So yeah, we will be using them as alphas, and these three or the rest of them we will be using as textures when we will be creating like the cartridges. So yeah, we will import them later on. Alright, so we don't need to like select each and every one of them and then select alpha. We can just press Ctrl A and everything would be selected, and now just select alpha for one of them, and now all of them have been selected as alpha. Alright, next is where we want to import our resources to. So the first one is current session. Current session is basically if you import it into current session, when you close Substance Painter, you won't find these files or these textures. You cannot use them later on. If you use project, you can only use them in this project only. So yeah, we will select project only. Third one is library. This way they will get like permanently imported into your shelf and you can use them in any project that you want. So these are like very specific to the Nintendo Game Boy only. So I will be just selecting project. So yeah, we will be just needing these images in this project only. Now hit import, and yeah, as you can see, all of them appear over here. One more thing, if you like kind of get lost in the shelf, you can easily separate out everything from over here. So this is materials, smart materials. Alphas and textures are different. So this is for alphas and this is for textures. So basically all your grunge maps, all your like color textures and everything, base color goes over here, and this is for like only alphas. And even here also, if you want to find the ones that you have specifically imported, because a lot of them already come with substance only, what you can do is you need to click over here so that this thing appears, filter, and now you need to select your assets. As soon as you do that, I have imported like a lot of them for my other projects, but the ones that we imported just now, we won't find them over here. That's because these are the assets that were imported like permanently into the shelf. So we do not need to go over your assets. We need to select the project filter because we imported them into our project. So click over here and now you can find all these alphas that we just imported right now. So these are like a couple of different things. So project is for the ones that you just imported into this project only, and your assets is basically the ones you have imported for lifetime into your shelf. All right, so let's select project, and now we can start like adding all these text onto our model. So now let's see, we can start by opening up our reference image. So let's open up this one, and we can start by adding all these ones, like this one, like the off and on, these ones, volume, connector, phones, because these are all similar to each other. We can like place them all in a single layer only. We just need to add a little bit height to our text or the alphas that we have added, and we will be done. So let's see. First, we will just add a layer. So there are like 2-3 different ways to do it. I will show you both of them. First is we can add a simple paint layer. So a paint layer is different from a fill layer. As you add it, you will see nothing really happens, but now you can paint over your model like this very easily. So the special thing about paint layer is that you can change the information of your strokes however many times you want. Let's see. First I set this color to red and I start painting like this. Then maybe I want to change the color. I change it to blue, add a little bit of metallic and decrease the roughness. Then I painted it like this. And you can see we have painted like completely 2 different strokes in a single layer only. And you can like do it as many times. You can double click on any of the alpha and you can see it appears over here. Then you can use it to stamp it this way. You can now change the color, make it back to like 0 metallic, select any different alpha and then stamp it like this. So you can see we can like change all the information of the stroke however many times we want in a paint layer. This is like useful when you have to add like different strokes of like different like information of roughness, metallic and everything. But the main disadvantage of using a paint layer is that we cannot really change the things at a later on stage. If we have like made a stroke like this, so this is like completely permanent and we cannot really change this later on. But the thing with fill layer is, so let's just delete this. Now when I add a fill layer, and let's say I will just add a black mask, and now you can start painting again. We cannot really see it properly, so let's make it completely white. And now if I select the mask and again start painting over it, you can see we can again paint the white color. We can select any of these logos or alphas and stamp them very easily. They would all be the same color only. So that is the thing about fill layer. But the great thing is we can change all of them whenever we want. You can see we can change the height, we can change the metallic, we can change the roughness, everything, however we like, and it would like affect all the strokes. So this is the main difference between a paint layer and a fill layer. So you can choose according to you. I will be using a fill layer only because it is like very easy to change all the stuff and like customize it at a later on stage. Whereas with a paint layer, like everything is permanent and we cannot really change it. So yeah, as I said, first we'll be doing all these ones, like this one over here and the ones at the sides. So we can add a basically simple fill layer. Let's rename this to height info and disable everything except the height channel. So hold Alt, click over here, and now we can give it any height value we want. We can give it a large number for now, or let's maybe 0.25 for now. Add a black mask, and now when you paint it, you can see you can paint with height information very easily. If you decrease it, if you select the fill layer and you decrease the height information, you can see now it appears inwards, whereas now it appears outwards. So we can change this height value whenever we want. So let's first start stamping. Select the mask and let's select the phones one. So double click over here, zoom in, and you can hold control and use your right click to increase the size of the brush. So increase it to fit in like this and just stamp it very easily. So you can see we have very easily added the like alpha or this detail. Also, another thing that you can do is make sure to set this to orthographic view. What this will basically do is if you hold Alt and Shift, you can snap it like perfectly and your model is completely flat now. Whereas if you are in perspective view, it can get a little bit weird if you like zoom in or zoom out. You can see it is not perfectly flat and you can like move in around. So with the perspective view, but with the orthographic view, it would be like completely flat. And wherever you move it, if you stay in the like snapped view, you can hold Alt and Shift, and then you can snap to different views like this, like we had in Blender. So this can be the front view, and you hold Alt and Shift, you can like move to the back view very easily. So with orthographic, it really helps when you are like stamping things like stickers. So it is very helpful when everything is like completely flat. It makes the process a lot easier. Whereas in perspective, you will notice that things get a little bit weird when you try to move it around. So yeah, make sure to set this to orthographic view. And this is like too much, as you can see in the image also, reference image. We can definitely decrease the height info a lot, maybe to 0.1 or even less, I think 0.05. I think something like that works a lot better. All right, let's see. Next, we can go over here. Let's just add this backside. So select this one. Make sure to first select the mask, then select this, double click over here, then hold Alt and Shift and move towards the backside like this. You can also hold Shift, then use right click to bring the lighting towards the back. Now increase the size of this and just stamp it like this. Pretty easy. Let's see. Next, we have this external connector and the volume one. So over here, hold Alt and Shift and again snap it to this side. Yeah. Now select this external connector alpha and we need to rotate it. So what you need to do is just scroll up over here. There is like a shortcut also. If you hold control and use your left click this time instead of right click is for size and left click is for angle. You can rotate it very easily, but it won't be like exact 90-degree. So we can just change it from over here. Just set this to 90-degree. And yeah, it is now perfect. We need to see once where it is facing. So it is facing this side. So I think we need to rotate it by 180. No, sorry, 270, I think. Yeah, that's perfect. Scale it up a little bit and just stamp it like this. You can just hit Control Z to remove it, and it might take 2-3 times to just get the perfect one. And yeah, that's pretty good, I think. Now select the volume. So it is already rotated, scale it down. All right, so that looks pretty good, I think. Again, hold Alt and Shift and move over to another side and let's see. So first is this contrast. Okay, so contrast is not over here. I think I forgot to copy it earlier. So I'll just quickly go back in and bring it. You guys, I think probably already have it. I will just quickly import it again, select project and yeah, over here. So again, double click over here, select the mask. And we need to rotate it. So just type in 90 over here because we need to rotate it this side. We need to scale it down a little bit, definitely. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. So next we have over here this long written text. I don't really know what exactly it means. Let's see which side it faces. So it is facing this side only. So we can just scale it up and just place it like this. Yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with it. Next we have this off and on. So just again hold Alt and Shift and snap it in the front view. Let's bring the lighting in and select the off and on one. Set the angle back to 0 and just scale it down while holding Control and right click and stamp it just like that. It also has these arrows, which I think Substance Painter already has. So go back to all libraries and in the alpha section, let's search for arrow. And yeah, I think this one would work pretty good. Just double click over here, again scale it down and just place it like this. Rotate it by 180 degrees and place it like this. Next we have this small dot, which I am sure there would be one in, okay, we need to search it by circle, I think. So there isn't one, I think, but we definitely can use something like this. Maybe it does not really matter. But if you want to, you can create one simple looking like alpha in Photoshop of a circle if you really want to. It is a very small one, so I will just place this one only. I think it looks all right. All right, let's move ahead. I think this was it for this layer. Let's just hit save first. And one thing that we forgot is we forgot to texture this part. So it is kind of plain right now. So I will just select this and duplicate this plastic. And I think this part over here has like a grayish kind of color. So we can just extrude all and just select this one and this one and just change the base color to dark grayish kind of. First, let's turn off the edges. Also turn off the bumps. And yeah, I think that's fine. Alright, so next we have these blue color text over the front screen and also this white color text. So we can create like two different fill layers, for one for the blue one and one for the white one. And that way we can do it. So let's just start. I will again add another fill layer. Let's rename this to blue text. And maybe we can rename this layer to height text, just so everything stays organized. Alright, so again for the color, I will just quickly open up that same link. I think that link had the blue color too. So just select this link and I'll quickly open it up in my browser. Alright, so let's copy this blue color now and see if it works. In the base color, just paste the hex code. Alright, next let's add a black mask and come back to the project alphas, remove this circle. And we can start by this Nintendo Game Boy. So double click over here, hold control and use right click to increase the size and set the, not this one, set this back to 90, set the angle back to 0. And yeah, I think the color is fine. Let's see the size of this. So it is roughly around, it starts from over here and comes across this first red button. So let's see. We need to increase it a little bit. I think something like this is fine. We need to place it a little bit downwards. And yeah, I think this is pretty good. Let's select the select button next. And we need to rotate it. Let's see. I think we rotated it by 30 degrees. Sorry, minus 30. We cannot really do negative numbers, I think. So we need to do it this way only. Let's try 330. Okay, 335 I think is pretty good. You can just hold control and use your left click to maybe rotate it out roughly. And I think this way it works best. So it is somewhere around 333. So let's just see again. Let's increase the size a little bit. And yeah, that's fine, I think. Select the start one now. And again, stamp it just like this. Similarly for the A and the B. It's definitely a bit smaller. Yeah, that looks fine, I think, in my opinion. We also have these small arrows placed over here. So let's add them to over here. I will again come back to the height text only. and in the all libraries search for arrow. Let's select this one, set this back to 0 and place one over here, set it to 90 and place one like this. Now set this to 180. And lastly 270, I think. Yeah. And then just stamp it over here. Alright, that's pretty good. Next we have this white text. So again, we will add another layer. Let's keep it this color only for now. Add a black mask. Come back to the project filter. Remove this arrow search query and select the battery. Set the rotation back to 0 and yeah, first we have this battery over here. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Now for this one, first let's select it. Scale it up. And it starts from this area of the screen and makes it roughly about somewhere around here. So we need to like basically eyeball it. That feels okayish to me, I think. I think I'll just go ahead with this only. We can maybe select the white color and make it a little bit brighter. Yeah, that's fine, I think. Rename this to white text. Next, we need to add these blue and pinkish stripes over here. Let's see how we can add them. First, for this blue stripe, maybe we can use the blue text layer only. So just select it. And first, we need to go back to all libraries and I think search for square. And you will find this one, square rectangle. And you will notice it is like really squarish. So to like adjust it according to this, we need to adjust the size X and Y. I think reducing the Y, yeah. If you reduce the Y a lot, then it will be like a really thin strip. Yeah, I think this size is fine. And now I will show you how we can like exactly place it in a straight line. So just click over here first. Make sure the like position is perfect. So just click over here once, then hold Control and Shift, and you will see this straight line appear. And just drag it till here, and click once again, and you will find this extremely straight like paint stroke. We will like erase the parts that we don't need. This way it is like much easier. Yeah, so the way we will go about erasing this is in a very similar way only. So just select the eraser, and what we will basically do is, so we want it to start from somewhere around here. We will first decrease the size of the eraser, so hold Control and right click and decrease the size. Then hold Control and Shift, click over here first, just around here, then hit Control and Shift and just drag it straight down, and you can erase it this way. And now remove this part, and similarly I will place one like this. So while holding Control and Shift, and now you can remove this area. First let's add one over here also, somewhere around here I think. If you feel like the space is too much, you can just quickly undo it, and again click over here once, then hold Control and Shift and bring it down. And now you can remove everything in between. And you can see we have created a very simple looking straight stripe. And now make sure to just don't change the size of the brush, because it can kind of mess up with the like placement and the size of the stripe. Let's quickly create another fill layer. And for the pink color, let's see what we can do. First, I will copy this color only, or maybe we can copy this layer only for the buttons that we created earlier. So just select this base layer, copy it, come out, select this and hit paste. Add a black mask and let's rename this to pink stripe. Delete this older fill layer. And yeah, now click over here and make sure to place them perfectly. I mean, we can erase it later on, so it does not matter that much. Let's see where it starts from. So it starts just about with the text only. So somewhere around here would be fine, I think. Yeah, again, hold Control and Shift and just make a stripe like this. Now go back to the eraser and we want to make sure that everything is like aligned perfectly. So yeah, this one is fine. Add one over here. You can also hold Control and right click and then move your mouse up and down to like increase the hardness to 1, so that it would be like perfectly sharp. Now again click over here. And yeah, that's perfect. Just remove the line in the middle now. I will select back the blue text again and just make sure it has perfect edges. So just click over here, hold Control and Shift and erase it like this, just so it has like perfectly sharp edges and not the smudgy ones. And yeah, now I'm just making sure they are of equal length. But that looks pretty good to me. I'm pretty happy with it. We will select this pink stripe and maybe make the color a little bit lighter, or it is too dark right now, I think. I think that fits much better. Let's hit save. And I think our model is coming out pretty nice. I will select the blue text and just make it a tad bit darker. Okay, I think this is too much. Okay, I think the older one was fine. Let's see. We are, I think, pretty much done with the texturing of the model. Okay, so one thing is left. We need to add the number over here. So hold shift and right click. Let's bring the lighting back over here. And let's see how we can do that. For this one, I think we can simply use a paint layer only for these type of things. Like this is like very easy and simple. So let's just add a paint layer and let's see. First, I will select a square. So you need to just double click on the square. So now it will be selected. Yeah. Let's adjust the like paint layer a little bit because we did all these things. I'll select the simple cyan color that is selected over here. And let's see. We need to make it rough so that it does not like shine, and give it a little bit of height. So maybe 0.1. Let's see. I think this is pretty good. Again, just click over here, then hold Control and Shift and drag it like this. Bring it out this way. One thing that I will do is I will add a filter to this, and I will show you what filters can do. I will add a basic filter and add a blur filter to this. So what I basically did is, let me just show once again. I selected this layer, went over here and added a filter. And now in the filter, I will just add a blur filter. You can see as soon as I did that, it just blurred our height intensity a little bit. And this way it is like not very sharp. Definitely we don't want to like blur this too much. So maybe something like this is pretty good. And we can add another filter, and that would be the HSL perceptive. And I think that would help us to like control the color a little bit better, even after we have made the strokes. So this is like a little bit of hack that we can use to like adjust the color at a later on stage. Yeah, that's pretty good. Now let's select it back again, go back to project and select our number. First, we need to set the color back to black and then just simply stamp it over like this. Okay, so because we added the blur filter and whatnot, it is kind of appearing a little bit weird. So let's just add another paint layer and now it would work perfectly. Let's make it a little bit lighter. Yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with it. Let's rename this to what we can name this. Let's name it black text, and this is our blue sticker. So let's just hit save and end the video for now. Maybe if we have like a couple of changes or some things that I want to add on, we can definitely do it later on. But for now, I think I'm pretty happy with the texturing. In the next video, what we will be doing is we will model the cartridge and texture it. It would be like pretty easy and a pretty fast thing to do. It would just add a bit more like detail to a model. We can like place a cartridge over here at the back side, and yeah, it would just make it look good with the renders. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one.